Matt, it brings us to a segment called
Cinema War.
The War. It works like this. Me and Matt were fighting on a topic. Our guest, our jury this week, Robert Daniels. He's got to play judge and jury and tell the Jawheads who he thinks won the Cinema War. Phil, what are we talking about this week?
Ryan, I'll tell you what we're talking about. We are talking about the crossover event of the century with this Cinema War, as you and Matt are going to take on who the heaviest hitter in the MCU director's chair is. Ryan, you're going to be gunning at Matt's life as you try and slither a win in for James Gunn as the best MCU director. And Matt is raising the Evil Dead this week as he argues Sam Raimi is the greatest director involved in the cinematic universe. Let this titan of a cinema war begin.
Matt. It was your recommendation to me to seek out James Gunn's directorial debut, 2006's Slither. So I did, and it was awesome. One of the stronger horror movie debuts of all time. A film that grosses you out and has you rolling on the floor laughing at the same time. James Gunn came out of the gate strong. And the most important thing we learned, he works great with large casts, a talent not all directors have.
Listen, I love Slither and I love James Gunn. I love him. And it pains me to do this, but Raimi is an A-list director and Gunn is still at the top of the Bs. Spider-Man 2 is considered top 3. Many would say number 1 superhero movies of all time, directed by Raimi. Guardians, certainly on that list, but below Spidey.
Well, my favorite MCU movie, and this means a lot to really the world, is Guardians of the Galaxy, Matt. I never even heard of the Guardians before the movie came out, and when I saw the trailer, which included a talking tree and a talking raccoon, I thought, you gotta be bleeping me. The film could have went horribly wrong if not for James Gunn. He balanced humor, this time with adventure, and again flexed his talent for working with large casts in which he somehow makes every character shine. Not just a home run this time, but a grand slam. It's the film that put MCU on a whole nother level.
You know, the thing is, these guys are both so similar. You know, they both started their careers as writers. Raimi wrote Crime Wave with the Coen brothers, who were unknown at the time, and James Gunn wrote Tromeo and Juliet for Lloyd Kaufman, who's unknown to you to this very day.
Well, a couple years back, it looked like James Gunn might be canceled, but he beat cancel culture, Matt. His true fans wanted him to come back. So he does literally the impossible. He takes a chance on Suicide Squad and doesn't even bother renaming it from the disastrous first film by Warner Brothers. He had the confidence to say, let's call it the same damn thing, just throw a "the" in front. Lo and behold, he does it again. This time blends humor with action. The film made your top 10 of the year and was critically praised by all critics, myself included.
Again, man, I love Gunn. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying that Raimi's a little better.
He called it the same damn thing as that stinker.
Your whole argument is based on big casts and the word "the." The best thing about it, though, is you have to acknowledge trauma movies, which you never even saw, but you have seen the Evil Dead movies. Once again, there's this parallel between Raimi's pedigree and Gunn's, but Raimi's is slightly higher. I bet even Gunn would agree. Hell, Lloyd Kaufman would agree. Evil Dead is just a little better than Tromeo and Juliet.
All right. Well, you mentioned that Gunn wrote Tromeo and Juliet, but you forgot to mention he also wrote Scooby-Doo, okay? Dawn of the Dead remake. Yeah. Dawn of the Dead remake as well. Plus, Gunn's star continues to rise, being reinstated by Disney to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Keep this in mind. Meanwhile, Sam Raimi's last two films, Doctor Strange 2, which we just crapped on, and the last one before that, Oz, the Great and Powerful. Ooh, underwhelming to say the least. Winner here, James Gunn.
All right, we didn't crap on it, but here's the thing. What gives Raimi the easy win is that he's not just a horror and superhero guy. he did that movie with Gene Hackman. What was the name of it?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
And he also did For the Love of the Game with Kevin Costner. Raimi has been on top outside of genre work, whereas Gunn is still paying those dues. This doesn't have to get dark, man. Your friendly neighborhood Sam is just a boomstick ahead of your old Jimmy Gunn. And if you don't like it, blow.
We are button heads here on Cinema War. We throw it to our guest, our jury, our executioner, Robert Daniels. What did you think of this Cinema War?
I see both you guys are playing to my heart. I love to see it. I love Ryan bringing in the baseball references. You see, you got home run and grand slam. I also love the Suicide. I love the Suicide Squad.
I do too.
You know what? I don't like the shade being thrown at Scooby-Doo either. I don't know why there's shade being thrown at it. However, I do appreciate that Matt brought up trauma movies. I do appreciate that he brought up Lloyd Kaufman, and one person directed For the Love of the Game. The other person did it. I'm gonna go with Matt.
Thank you.
Terrible.
I even wore my Evil Dead T-shirt here.
Oh,
so,
it pains me.
That earns me 20 seconds of jaw time to rant and rave about whatever I want. And this is what I'm going to do. Ryan, I challenge you. I challenge you here and now in front of Robert Daniels and all the jawheads. You must watch Romeo and Juliet. I made you watch Slither and you liked it.
Challenge accepted.
You need to watch this movie. And then next time we're at C2E2 and I say, there's Lloyd Kaufman, you won't look at me and say, who? You'll be like, holy crap, there's Lloyd Kaufman.
Not only that, I'll guarantee you we'll do a Patreon review of it. Might just be my review. I might just record it myself because you're busy guy.
I'm a busy guy.
But we'll do a Patreon review of Romeo and Juliet.
Dude,
it's on my list.
I'm excited. No, seriously, I'll always make time for a Troma review. So I'm in on that one.
Wow. That was a good war though, Matt.
It was. See how much fun that was?
Every once in a while, it's just good to argue, you know?
Yeah, totally.